Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. With Christmas being right around the corner, what better time than to share a review about a Christmas movie? That's right good people, I just saw the movie Glistening in the Snow on Tubi, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I will give it a solid 8. The movie had very few flaws, but I had an overall good time watching it, and I will put this movie on my recommendation list for the holidays. So over the remainder of the review, I will share the things that I liked about the movie, as well as the things that I did not like about the movie. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. The movie Glistening in the Snow follows the characters Donovan and Anasia. Donovan and Anasia are childhood friends and business partners whose fathers both owned a restaurant/club called Glistening. The fathers passed the club on to Donovan and Anasia, but the club isn't doing so well financially. Donovan comes into town with his fiancée Addie, and they plan to sell the club. But Anasia wants to keep the club. The movie ends with a Christmas miracle of sorts that saves the day for everybody involved. So one of the things that I liked about this movie is that it is a family-friendly Christmas movie. And I feel the need to mention that because when I clicked the play button for the movie, I immediately saw that this movie was part of Maverick Entertainment. And if you've seen other Maverick Entertainment movies, then you'll know that most of the movies are filled with debauchery and foolishness. So for a brief moment, I was concerned that this movie might have fallen into that category, but I was glad to see that the movie was family friendly and didn't fall into the typical independent movie about strippers, drug dealers, or infidelity within one's marriage. I was impressed with the acting performances in this movie. This movie had a large ensemble, but I believe that every actor had a part to play in the movie, with some of the characters taking the lead role while other characters take a more supportive or comic relief role. Nevertheless, I didn't see any weak acting performances in this movie. I was also impressed with the pacing for the movie. The movie's runtime is under an hour and a half long, but at no point did I get bored or feel the need to take a break from watching the movie, which is a very good thing for a critic like myself. And lastly, I like the overall storytelling for the movie. With this movie being a Christmas movie, I expected to see some of the common themes for Christmas movies to be present. Some of these themes include feelings of hope, faith, magic, joy, and redemption. I'm happy to say that this movie nailed the feelings of hope, joy, and redemption through its storytelling, and I was glad to see that the movie with a cast this size was able to wrap up most of the character story arcs within its runtime. So as you all know, I didn't give this movie a 10. And I rarely give movies and TV shows that I review a 10 because to me, 10 represents perfection, and that's a very hard goal to obtain. Having said that, if I had two minor critiques for this movie, the first critique would be how the movie opened. The movie opened with Anasia on the phone before showing Donovan and his fiancée Addie going to visit her father. Over the next 15 or so minutes, we as the viewing audience are introduced to most of the characters in the movie, which is over 10, and some of their names are not revealed until much later into the movie. For me, it would have been perfect if we as the viewing audience got to focus on one primary character while gradually introducing the other characters into the movie. For example, if the movie was told primarily through Donnie's perspective, and we get expositional scenes that show how Donnie knows all these characters, then it could have gone a long way. Another minor critique for this movie would have been the romance between Donnie and Anasia. To me, the movie is missing a key scene or two. Which showed that Donnie and Anasia truly desired one another in a physical or sexual sense. In this movie, Donnie was engaged to Addie, he learned about a good deed that Anasia did for him, and had a change of heart about selling the club. Addie breaks up with Donnie, and with them being broken up for about a day or two, or maybe a couple of days, is Donnie really ready to move on with Anasia and make things official with her? According to their backstories, Donnie and Anasia were never really in a serious relationship prior to the events of the movie. So in my opinion, that's a pretty quick romantic turnaround for somebody that was engaged to be married, and to me, this storyline would have worked better if Addie was just a girlfriend who Donnie had met a couple of months ago, and they were on the verge of breaking up because he's been at odds with her for quite some time. That way, we as the viewing audience could see Donnie falling out of love with his girlfriend, and we can see from Donnie's point of view that marrying Addie would be a huge mistake, and we could also see Donnie and Anasia starting something that could blossom into a long-lasting and healthy relationship. But these are minor critiques, and they may not be issues for some folks. Nevertheless, I enjoyed watching the movie Glistening in the Snow, and as I previously mentioned, this movie is on my recommendation list for the holidays, and I think you all should check it out. So with that being said, this marks the end of my review. If you have any comments related to the review or the movie, feel free to leave them below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.